Welcome to studentsdash.com. Now, in the previous tutorial, we have find out the forward paths, individual loop gains of 2 non-touching loops, and loop gains of 3 non-touching loops. So now the step 5 will be to find out the value of delta, which is the formula of delta is 1 minus summation of loop gains plus summation of gain products of 2 non-touching loops minus summation of gain products of 3 non-touching loops. Now in the step 2, you have find out loop gains, individual loop gains, which is L1, L2, L3, L4, since we have 4 loops in the signal flow graph. Now, and the gain products of 2 non-touching loops are loop 1 and 2 plus loop 1 and 4 plus loop 2 and 4, and then subtract it from gain products of 3 non-touching loops, which is loop 1, 2 and 4. So we have find out the loop gain of 1, 2 and 4, and loop gain of 1 and 2, loop gain of 1 and 4 loops, and loop gain of 2 and 4. Now you simply put the values which we have find out in step 2, in step 3, in step 4, and place them in the formula, and the value of delta will be this. This is the value of delta which you have got out. Now the step 6 would be to find out the path 1 and path 2. This is the signal flow graph of the question. Over here it is input, over here it is output. So the path 1 is this: G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, and all of the loops are touching path 1. So delta is equal to 1 minus 0. But path 2 is not touching loop 2 and loop 1 and 2. So now in step 6, delta is equal to 1 minus 0 of path 1, which is 1. But in P2, there are 2 loops which are not touching, which is loop 1 and loop 2. So the formula will be 1 minus summation of individual loop gains plus summation of 2 non-touching loops, since 2 loops are not touching the path 2. If there are 3 non-touching loops, then the formula goes on. Now you have find out the individual loop gains, but you will put the individual loop gains of only 2 loops which are not touching the path 2, which is loop 1 and 2. So minus G2 and H1 minus G4 and H2, and then sum of them is G2, G4, H1, H2. Those loops which are not touching the path 2 will be placed over here, and the delta 2 is 1 plus G2, H1 plus G4, H2 plus G2, G4, H1, H2. This is the delta 2 and this is the delta 1. So now we have find out all the values which are recorded in the formula. So that step 7 will be applying the Mason's gain formula. So we have 2 paths, so P1 and P2, and delta 1 and delta 2 divided by delta. Now delta 1 is 1. So 1 multiplied by path 1, which we have find out, which is G1, G2, G3, G4, G5, is we have written over here, and path 2 is G6, and delta 2 is 1 plus G2 H1 plus G4 H2 plus G2 and G4 H1 H2, and divided by the value of delta, which we have find out in the step 5. So simply place the values and you will get the transfer function of signal flow graph. So this is what Mason's gain formula is, and this is how you find out the transfer function of a system using Mason's gain formula. Thank you very much for watching the video.